Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. I have a ton of layouts to share with you, lots of inspiration here, so warning, if you are addicted to scrapbooking, you might find this video triggering. Just kidding. In all seriousness, I keep my layouts, I've got quite a few of them here. I put them in a D-ring album, it's a temporary album, and I do not scrapbook chronologically, so I store them in there, and once that gets full, they go into their albums, which are chronological or maybe a vacation album, or in the case of this one, of my grandparents, a long lost memories album. I have single page and double page, and there are a few layouts that do not have process videos on my YouTube channel, so hang tight for those. So let me go ahead and move this stack out of the way, and we'll look at them one at a time. This first layout features the Cosette Collection from Close to My Heart, and I wanted a vintage feel, and I think that I achieved that with the distressing here on the edge and just this worn text stamp, little paper tearing. And this is a photo of my grandparents on their wedding in 1943, so I definitely wanted to capture that vintage look. You're going to see a lot of this in the upcoming layouts. I've been having tons of fun with this stamp set here. This is the Dreammaker stamp set, and it is a special, and it's coming to an end, so I just want to bring this to your attention because, like I said, I've been having so much fun with this one. It is a double stamp set. You've got titles and word sentiments, and on the other portion of this stamp, there's that text stamp with that irregular edge, and I just love it. That's probably my favorite. Got some flowers, another text stamp, and just kind of a background texture stamps where I've used all of these actually, so be watching for those, see if you can spot them in the layouts. Now these next several layouts feature the Hey Handsome collection, and I had a ton of fun with this, and I bought a whole bunch of it because I have two boys and this paper pack suited them very well. And actually I have more boys because this is my cat Dave, who is like one of my children. I just love him dearly. So this was from the Digital Art Collection, which is a collection of SVGs, and there are layouts that you just, you can pick your color of paper and customize it to suit your photos. I added a couple stamped images from some kitty stamps that I have, and just made it more cat-like. I took a little paw print stamp and stamped on the letters. This was part of a collaboration with the creative design team where we were challenging ourselves to use only cardstock. So this is no pattern paper, just cardstock. And I thought that this was really fun to showcase Dave, how he loves to kind of just sit in whatever he can fit in. Here is a layout of my son, and this is all Hey Handsome except for this background wood paper. That is from the Mix In paper collection from the same catalog. I had to go look. It was the April through June catalog. The Hey Handsome collection, there's pieces of it. There's like just some of the elements, but the actual paper pack is sold out, but I will leave the things listed below that are still available. So I just really wanted to showcase or tell the story of my son, and the story was unrelated to the photo, but I thought it fit because he loves dressing up like a gentleman, and this was one of the pocket cards, The Rules of Being a Gentleman, and I thought that was perfect for a title. So really just a couple pieces of pattern paper, some pocket cards, and just a little detailing around the side. There's that stamp set there from the Dreammaker. Do you see the texture stamp? I love it. So that is this one here. And then this tiny little splatter stamp I've added just a little bit around. And then acrylic stars, and those are the Hey Handsome acrylic embellishments. So this one was really fun. Love it. This is my other son, Hayden, and he was just caught in the act of rocking out to some music. He had his headphones on and he didn't know I was there, so it was quite funny. He's like, Mom. But I've done a lot of background stamping on the layout here. Just kind of add that grunge vibe. I think it just works so well for teenage boy layouts. And this is, again, the Hey Handsome collection. These are some of those acrylic shapes there. And then some of the stickers. Now this premium quality, authentic, always original is the Hey Handsome stamp set, and it makes a great title. And I just layered up some circles and did a little strip journaling and called it done. I kept all of the collections together because I thought it'd just be fun to see all the different things that you could do with them. Again, hey handsome. Here we've got some very similar background stamping. This is my son Hayden also. You can see I've used the same colors and I've done some similar stamping. This is the background element stamp set. Now on this one, I added a layering of stenciling. Can you see that there? I took a stencil and some mink ink and I put that down first and then stamped over the top of it, just overlapping and kind of collaging those different stamped images there. And there's a little bit more on the bottom. So you'll notice I frequently place my embellishments in a visual triangle. So if you kind of look at my layouts, you'll see that that is repeated on most of them. But you can see when I point this out here, we have, 3 areas of embellishments where I have repeated those colors and textures and techniques. And then I fussy cut the bike from a pocket card from Hey Handsome and then added some stamped images from my stash. This is a pocket card too. So they're great for layering, and you can see I use that same title. So these were taken at different times. They're going to go in different albums, so it doesn't bother me to use the same stamp set and same papers. And it just, like I said, it suits him so well. We were telling the story about this total beater car. This is his first car. And I kind of just put the basics here and then had more to say. So I created a pocket and the journaling, which I haven't finished. Don't worry, I will finish it before it goes in the album. I'm going to tell the rest of the story about his car on the pocket there. This is a layout, a double page layout I created of my husband at work, which is not something I typically document, and I'm glad that I did. And there was a big story to tell, so again I have a pocket here where I can type up the story and add it. And I just put the basics here, photos of my husband, the year, and what job he was on. But then I just want to talk a little bit more about the history and just kind of, the progression of him working in this industry on the pocket, or in the pocket there. So this was kind of modeled after one of the workshops in the collection. Close to My Heart offers a scrapbooking workshop. You can get just the paper pack and sticker sheet, or you can get a workshop where they pre-design layouts for you. I love to take those workshops because they have extra pieces, like extra title pieces, and all of these circles were from the workshop collection, and I will use them for inspiration and kind of tweak them a little bit to make it work for my photos. This side I did follow pretty closely. I changed up a few things, but I really love how this turned out. Got a little bit of stamping on the background there. You can see more of that background texture stamping there. I really love to do that. I think it just adds a lot of fun to the layouts. Here we have another double page layout featuring Hey Handsome. Yep, that's the last one there. There's going to be more coming. You'll see some stash busting videos with Hey Handsome because I just love it. And like I said, I have quite a bit of it. So I used that same wood paper from the Mix-In collections, and there's only one. I did have 2 Mix-In paper packs because I love it so much, but I cut that paper and spread it out over. So this is a 12 by 12, and then this green one is a 12 by 12, and I just made them work to balance a double page layout. You'll see again, we've used that same background elements stamp set there. And then I've got some pine trees stamped on the layout and some more of those X's. We've got the acrylic shapes. And then this is something I love doing with my pocket cards. These are both pocket cards. I love to die cut them into shapes and use them as titles. So quick and easy, and I definitely do this technique quite a bit. I just layered up some stickers from the sticker sheet. This is a very old stamp set that I was happy to have the opportunity to ink up and add to this layout. Just a little acrylic arrow, and then this is a stamp set that is from my stash, and you cut these shapes out on the Cricut and it fits them. So I like to make those in bulk and use those for my journaling spots. And I just think it's so cute to have that little torn note paper edge there. Now we are going to look at several layouts from the Hello Darlin collection. Actually, let me set that aside. This is a very patriotic color palette, but it's really kind of fun because you can go florals or you can go kind of the patriotic feel that it was intended or designed for. This is a double page 8.5 by 11 layout, and the creative design team has an 8.5 by 11 sketchbook. We have several sketchbooks. I'll leave those linked in the description box below. It is a digital download that you can keep on your computer, laptop, whatever, your phone, or you can print them out. And there's just great, really great usable sketches. So we have 8.5 by 11 and also 6 by 8, kind of a December daily type of sketchbook. So be sure to check those out if you love sketches. This was my take. We collaborated, each showcasing one of the sketches. And again, here's that Dream Maker stamp set where I have used the title side and stamped and fussy cut the word always, and then I used a stamp from my stash, so always coffee time. And I thought this was really fun because it's not traditional coffee colored layouts. I like the bright crisp red and blue and white, and I thought it went really well. There is a little bit of green in this floral paper, so I highlighted that with some of the sage leaves. These are from the layered flowered dies. And then the acrylic pieces here are from the Hello Darlin collection. And then I've got some coffee themed stamps in my stash that I just thought went along with this. So I'm working on a My Favorite Things album. So that's what I'm going to use. And I thought it'd be fun to do the 8.5 by 11 size. And coffee definitely made the list. It was my first layout for the album. So definitely a favorite. Okay, let's bring in the rest of those. This is a double page layout. And this one here on the left was a scrap lift from the catalog, and I loved it so much, so I recreated the layout, just making a few changes. And I did, after the fact, add some stamping. If you watch the video, this was white space here, and so I went back and added some stamping with the Hello Darlin coordinating stamp. And those look like little fireworks? We were at a 4th of July celebration, and I wanted to document that with this paper. I thought it was just so perfect. So in a second video, I created a companion page because we often will see a layout we really love and it inspires us, but we have a lot more photos. So I wanted to incorporate those and just did a classic grid style layout. You can almost never go wrong with a grid. And I believe these are, let me grab my little ruler here. I think these are 3 by 3. Let me double check. I can't quite remember. They are that 3 by 3 with the white border. So I just printed those out, kind of highlighting the best points of the day. Got a couple shots of the fireworks there, and then just did a large embellishment cluster with stickers, paperboard die cuts, and stamping. Oh, and here's another pocket card that I cut into a tag shape, just like I showed you on the Western layout of my son. Definitely a great way to use those pocket cards. I created this recently on my channel. This was my mom and I. Every year we love to go and shop for flowers in Half Moon Bay, and I just thought it was perfect for this paper. So these are from the Hello Darlin workshop, these fun little acrylic pieces. And on this one, I had kind of run out of embellishments, so I used the coordinating stamp set. And you can see, I've created these embellishments to match using that stamp set. So check out the video to see how this stamp set layers and all the different things you can do with that. I share some cards in that video too, showcasing different color options you can use for creating these flowers. Another layout featuring Hello Darlin. And there was lots of stars in that workshop, and I used one of the stars. This was a sketch challenge I did in my private customer Facebook group, and the Summer Smiles is from the sticker sheet as well as this lantern. And I just added a little bit of pattern paper. The Barbecue Boss, that is actually from a stamp set called Barbecue Boss. Isn't it cute? I added a little Stickles glitter gel to make it look like it was glistening. And then just stamped home is wherever I'm with food right onto the background. Did some simple journaling, just writing it right on the paper. But I want to show you, I'm going to leave this one on here. We're now going to move into the Dream Maker collection, but I want to show you that I use the exact same sketch just switching up the photo or the photo sizing. These are 3x4s and then these are 3x3s. So I changed the photo sizing just a little bit. And on the sketch, I had a big circular element here. So I used a star on this one, and I used this gorgeous koi cut file, which this layout was not, I do not have a process video for this one. This one I created in my private Facebook group. So this is a free cut file on Pinterest, and the name is escaping me right now, but definitely check the description box below and I will have the link to this. It's on Pinterest, and I definitely want to give her credit. So it was free too, and I just used the Dreammaker paper to back the koi cut file. I cut it out in gold foil paper, and I thought the Dreammaker paper was absolutely stunning to represent how colorful those koi fish are. And then same with the flowers. So here is that Dreammaker stamp set again. I used these flowers, stamped them directly onto the pattern paper, and heat embossed them in gold, and then so they would match the gold foiling, and then just fussy cut those out to create my floral embellishments. And then there's a little background texture stamp. Here's this one here, and then here I've used this stamp set right here. I just love how it brings in all of that background detail and just adds little pops of black. These are the paperboard. Darn fly, those fish would eat you. The paperboard die cuts are also from Dreammaker. So I just wanted to show you how you can use a sketch and completely change the look of it by changing up your papers and your embellishments. Let's take a look at the rest of the Dreammaker collection. And this one was part of the Dreammaker workshop. I actually followed it pretty closely, and I thought this layout was so perfect. We were at a botanical garden in Maui, and I thought the flowers and just the botanical elements were perfect, and it really was a perfect day. So this title is from the sticker sheet, and then the day, and then this little circular element, and the leaves and dragonflies are all from the paperboard die cuts, and then the flowers are just stamped, and this is all part of the workshop, so you can download the guide for free. And I just stamped on a white daisy paper, and then I used this background texture stamp to quickly color them, and you can see how I did that in the video. And it's very quick and easy, and you can see how I put my photos in rainbow order. So we've got like the reds with the reds and the pinks with the pinks over here, and then I'm in blue, so I kind of put those with the more blue tones. And I love the way this one turned out. It's just so bright and colorful and really captured the vibe of the botanical gardens. This is also the Dreammaker collection, and it is the same, trip. We were in Maui, and it was actually close to my heart trip that I earned, and we went it was 2022. And this is another one of the workshops that you can create with a guide. It shows you exactly how to do it. I wanted to bring in more of the ocean feel, so I brought in some of my ocean themed stamps and colored. Actually, these two are just stamped right onto the pattern paper and fussy cut or die cut out. And then I just added the flowers that were colored the same way. But all of this background interest in black is from the stamp set. So it's just layering these stamped images to create this really cool look. It's kind of like mixed media looking, but without. And then there's some stenciling too. So this is a pattern paper. You can see the pattern on the paper, and then we added to it, and it was just so much fun. The title is from the paperboard die cuts, and then I did stamp this Sunny Days from my collection. Love it. Love that one. Now, if you love the outdoors, you're going to love this one. This was a special called Change of Scenery, and I was super excited about this because we spend a ton of time up in the mountains camping, and as you can see, it is perfect. So this, is a combination of the die cuts and some stamping. This stamp is from my stash. I added that just because I loved the, being together is the best place to be, and the pine trees. I thought that was really perfect. And then we have the background elements stamp set. that I've used to add some texture, just stamping it in toffee just to add a little character to that white space up there. And then the title, Go See Do, are the paperboard elements, and then we've got some stickers mixed in. So stamping, stickers, and little kind of paperboard is like chipboard but thinner. And you've got these tree line, embellishments that come with it, and I just thought it was really, really fun. Love that pattern paper. We like to take our horses up to the mountains and go for rides, and then sometimes we pack back into the backcountry and stay there for a week or two. So that was the first layout I created with that collection. And then there's this one of my mom and I taking a walk at one of our favorite lakes. We love to hike around the lake, and it's a 4-mile hike, and it's just beautiful. There's lots of people on the beach side, but when you get around to the back side of the lake, you have it to yourself. And it's just something we've done frequently every summer for years. So I used the scenery paper on the bottom there, and then just kind of did a linear design. We've got stickers. These are all stickers from the sticker sheet. And this is from the paperboard die cuts. And then I just added a few scraps of pattern paper down here. Stamped images. There is a stamp set that went along with this one, and I thought it turned out pretty nice. I love this photo of my mom, so I wanted to make that one bigger and mat it on pine paper, so it really kind of was the focal piece that really draws your eye to it, because I just think it's a really nice photo of her, and it was just a really happy memory, so I just love that. All right, we've got more from this fun collection. Loving this view. This was a trip to Yellowstone, and it was in 2019, and I'm still working on this album. So this is the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. It's this little short hike down where you can go to this lookout. And so I wanted to document this gorgeous view. And in this video, I shared some stenciling techniques. I did a little stenciling on the background and some controlled splatter stamping. We have, again, those same paperboard trees from this collection. I did a little more stenciling down here, and then just created some tags from cardstock and pattern paper. But yeah, just another great way to, again, kind of a linear layout, but I really like how you can get a lot of photos on there and still have room for all of the fun embellishments. And again, you'll see, as I mentioned earlier, this is a great example of that visual triangle. So it just kind of carries your eye throughout the design. Now this next layout, I threw it back here because it's camping themed. It's a different paper pack. This is one that I was just kind of doing a little stash busting, and I wanted to work with my little cute stamps here. So these stamp sets, if they're still available, I will leave them listed in the description box below. And it's the tent and the bear and the tree and the little fireplace, and I thought it was so cute. These are my boys and some childhood friends that we just went camping with every single year. So I thought So Glad We're Friends was absolutely perfect. And this is from a stamp set called Adventure Badges, and it's awesome. It's several little circular elements that I just use. One's a compass. They're really cool if you love outdoor adventures. I have a few layouts from the Every Little Thing collection. This was a special, and it is no longer available, but it goes this way. I wanted to use colors, non-traditional colors for these farm photos. Typically I would go with kind of browns and greens and more like natural earthy tones, but I thought it'd be so fun to just go bold and unexpected and use these bright rainbow colors to document my husband and I feeding our pigs. And I love it. I love how it turned out. I thought it was really fun. This little adorable pig here is from a stamp set, and I colored him in with my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. And yeah, I did a little stamping with some border stamps, and I really love the pops of black with the bold color palette. That is definitely something I'm drawn to and will repeat again. Just some simple tags, little stamped images, very simple, but I really thought that this was a fun, unexpected color palette for these pig photos. And then I used the stamp set to add in to the journaling and kind of highlight the words. So there were some words on the stamp set and I just worked those in, and I thought that that was a really fun way to document the day. I got one under there. No. Oh yeah, I'd messed it up, so I had to do a quick fix in the video. So you'll have to go see in the video what I messed up and how I fixed it if you want to learn a little, because we all mess up on our layouts, right? So it's always good to have a plan to fix your mistakes. I should mention this was a 6x6 paper collection. So you'll notice that's a 6x6 square. So is that one. This is 6x6 that I cut in half. So it was a great way to use 6x6 paper pads for your 12x12 layouts. And same with this one. So this was 6x6 and I cut it in half. There were two squares cut in half, turned them on the diagonal. And then these were all from 6x6 squares that were just cut into strips. And I really love it. This one was scrap lifted from the actual workshop because I thought it was such a fun idea and I wanted to copy it exactly. And I just documented kind of my husband and I's story. There we are, 1997, and just graduating high school, and then later 2002, and then 2006 starting our family. Well, we've got 2 kids by then, but it was just kind of cool to see it in a timeline, and I thought this was perfect because it says remember when. And then I used the Alan Jackson song Remember When to kind of work into the journaling. So I thought that this was kind of just a neat way to tell the story in a timeline form. Just a few more here. This was the Daisy collection, and boy, this was a hot one. It sold out so quickly, and then they got it back in. It sold out again because everybody just loved it. And I think it was just the bright pinks and greens. It was just so springy and fresh and fun. I don't know, I really loved it. So I documented this photo of my mom at Easter. She loves to set the table. That's kind of her thing. So I snapped a picture and documented about that. I kind of give her a box of decor and say, here you go, do your thing. And she loves it. So just this was a sticker that said sweet moments, and then some die cut daisies mixed in with some stamped daisies. And then do you see the stenciling on the background there? The stencil I had in my stash that wasn't from the Daisy collection. But yeah, I really like how that one turned out. This is another single page featuring that same Daisy collection. And my shirt, it was my birthday. My youngest son and I were going out for just a little ride on our horses. And I was scrolling through my pictures and my green shirt caught my eye and I thought, yep, that's perfect. And I wanted to give it a little Western flair, so we made our own wood grain paper. That is a technique Tanya Roberts demonstrated on her channel, and I also there is a process video for this one, and it's super simple. So I will definitely link all the videos are going to be linked below that have process videos. There'll be actually a playlist at the end. If you just click on that playlist, it'll open up and you can pick out the video if you want to watch a specific one. So these are all stamps, the little cowboy hat, and all of those are from my stash. I collect all the kind of country themed stamps because they don't come along very often and they work well for my lifestyle. So I make sure to snatch all of those up. This one I created over on Facebook. The creative design team had a 1-year anniversary event where we offered free classes, and I will have that link in the description box below as well. If you weren't a part of that celebration, it was so much fun. It went on for a few days, and I taught a class on embellishing. So this was my layout, and we just talked about embellishment layering and placement and textures, and I thought that this was a really fun one. I love doilies. This is one of my favorite dies. This is the fancy doily set here, and I just think it's so great for layering and just adds so much texture to a layout. And there's some vellum leaves here, and then we added some sparkly centers, so lots of things going on. Stamping, splattering, die cuts. There's that wood homemade or DIY wood grain paper in the background again, and you can do that in any color, so it's a lot of fun to experiment with different colors of wood grain. But yeah, I really had fun with this one. So be sure, if you didn't catch it, to head on over and catch up on those videos. Now I just have to go and add the journaling to those few that I hadn't done yet, and then put all of these away. That won't take long, right? Let me know which layout or collection was your favorite, and don't forget to check the description box below for all the details. Just hit that see more, and it'll open up and you'll find links and items and information there. So if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you hang around and catch my next video coming up very soon. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Bye.